Hi, and welcome back to Your Future, Your Finances. We're continuing our conversation with Len Lazarick, who is publisher and editor of MarylandReporter.com, talking about the state of journalism as well as the recent election results and some things that are going on here in Montgomery County. Welcome back to the show.
Good to be here.
The recent elections and voting, what are some of the things that are going on in Montgomery County that are new?
Well, of course, in Montgomery County, they finally passed a term limits for the council and the executive. That actually has existed for some time in other counties. It's a three-term limit, which is 12 years, which certainly seems like a reasonable length of time. In other counties with executives, as a matter of fact, nearby, Prince George's, Anne Arundel, Howard, Baltimore County, they all have two-term limits for the executive. And in the case of Anne Arundel County, they have a two-term limit for the council, which seems kind of short. In Howard County, it's a three-term limit, as will exist here. So that means that looking ahead, at least 4 members of the Montgomery County Council are going to have to retire and move on to something else. And I think that reflects the overall voter dissatisfaction with people that are in office.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that that passing on a county level foreshadows that eventually happening on a national level?
It's hard to imagine the Congress. You may recall that back in '94 with the contract with America, Newt Gingrich, that they promised to have a 3-term limit in Congress. And then the Republicans got control of the House, and once the folks got in office, they said, that's an awful short period of time, and most people have just stuck around. I think I think that would be very difficult to impose on the national level. I'm not sure that the states can do anything about that with their federal officers either. So, no, I don't think that's going to happen. But of course, until George Washington established the principle of 2 terms for president, and then Franklin Roosevelt violated that limit, and then the constitutional amendment was passed to establish a 2-term limit for president. So it basically happens when people say, wait a minute, they've just had, people have accumulated too much power over too long a period of time. Mm-hmm. But I think in this case, Montgomery County was really sort of the outlier, mm-hmm. If you will, in terms of the suburban counties in Maryland.
And then we have a new senator as well in Maryland.
And the first senator in quite a long time from Montgomery County, from the Washington suburbs, Chris Van Hollen. So there'll be 3 members of the 10-member delegation who are newly elected Jamie Raskin, who's replacing Van Hollen in the House, and John Delaney, who lives in Potomac. For a long time, Maryland has had the Baltimore region has been the strongest element, and now finally we're seeing at the state level with the governor and the controller, both at least originally from the Washington suburbs, the growing political clout of Montgomery County.
What do you think we can then expect from the next General Assembly session?
Well, people, after an election, actually even before an election, the political junkies and people who are aspiring to office are looking at the next election, and certainly everyone is gearing up for 2018. Anybody considering running for the legislature has probably given it a lot of thought and really need to put together a campaign next year. Governor Hogan is going to seek re-election. He's announced that some time ago. The Democrats in the legislature are going to try to make him look bad. They haven't been very successful at that at the moment. And we have to come up, Democrats have to come up with someone who could potentially beat Hogan. Mm-hmm. So that's what we're looking ahead for. So that's what some of the legislation will be designed to do as we look into the next session.
All right, we're out of time. We'll have you back on soon. We appreciate you coming. We've been speaking with Len Lazarick of MarylandReporter.com. Thank you very much for watching. You're watching Your Future, Your Finances.